Hi, so I'm trying to do a straight to the point video of how to make your to do your drill your hole in your sea glass to make a little sea glass bracelet. So straight away we'll get straight into it. I suggest you use something like blue tack or plasticine, but I find that if you use blue tack, this is the pink stuff, obviously the blue stuff's the normal stuff. It doesn't, plasticine tends to dissolve and go a little bit gloopy inside the water in the bowl. So moving on, you've got your blue tack, a little bowl. So you're going to get your little bowl, you're going to stick your blue tack in the bottom like this, and then what you're going to do is get a little piece of sea glass, and your sea glass you're going to poke into this, stick inside it so it holds your sea glass in place while you're going to drill it, and then you're going to cover this with a tiny bit of water so the sea glass is totally submerged but not too deep. You don't want it too deep, but what it's going to do is anything while you're drilling, any bits of glass, etc., because it tends to find this around the outside is like a glass powder that's been come off when you've been drilling. Anything that comes off, it's going to get caught up in the water. It's not going to go everywhere. Handpiece, this is really cheap Parkside one. This is a little special, so there's nothing flash about this, but it's a 240 volt one, stepped down to 12 volts. So for me personally, I find this is a good idea to use because you're not putting 240 volts near your water, basically. A multi-chuck on the end of your Parkside, your Dremel, whatever you're going to use. You want a multi-chuck because on these, it's like a drill chuck where you can adjust the different size. If you're using it for doing jewellery work, you can adjust the thickness of what you're putting in there. So like different mandrels are all different thickness. Hence, this little tiny drill bit here is what we're going to be using. It's not the clearest thing to see, but this is a diamond coated drill bit. What I'll do is I'll put links to all these little bits that I'm using, the consumable things. And my rule of thumb to these is this one drill bit should do, I would say, one bracelet. So if you're doing sea glass, I would hope to think that I would get through all of these with this one drill bit. They don't last forever, they are going to go, and a lot of it is also user error if they fail quickly, i.e. if you try to go too hard into the sea glass, the drill bit will overheat and it'll break down quicker. So like anything, when you like, say if you're drilling into a glass, ceramic, a tile, and you're using a diamond drill bit for that purpose, then you'd always want to make sure you're not overheating the drill bit itself. It's a rule of thumb for any kind of drilling, really. So we've got the drill bit, we've got the little handpiece, we've got a bowl to put it in, we've got some blue tack in there, we're going to fill this up with water, a bit of sea glass is going to sit in, we're going to poke it in there, I'm going to show you all that next, and then we've got our blue tack. When we're making a bracelet, I use this elasticated, what would you call this, elasticated thread. And this stuff, I've actually been, this is my sea glass one that my daughter made me, and I've been wearing this for about a year now. So this is, you see it stretches out there, and I think I'd be missed this if I lost it now. But yeah, I've worn this like for a year, like everywhere, everything, mountain biking, you name it. It's come with me this now. So this does last absolutely brilliantly. So I find it's tried and tested by myself personally anyway, so I'll go for it there. The difference in doing the sea glass as well when you're doing a bracelet, so we've got spaces in between these ones, and I've gone for glass, little tiny glass spaces. You can buy these, again I'll put links to these. If you don't put spaces in, it's a tight bracelet, obviously still stretchy, it'll still go over your wrist, but no spacing in there. You're going to use a lot more sea glass as well. Different colours, so it's clear, and I keep them in tubs like this here, so I've got them in there, and I can put these spaces in depending on what sea glass you're using. I have loads of these. My daughter enjoys sorting them all out in different colours for me, so we collect different. We keep them different shades, more of an opaque type of sea glass, etc. I have a massive bag to be sorted out here, so we go to Seaham, we get all our sea glass from. We love picking it, and like this is sort of our typical haul of a sea glass on a good day, really. So again, not being sorted through yet, but there you go. And that is it, right? We're going to move on. The blue tack, the bowl, plastic bowl, by the way. So the idea being plastic, this is my personal preference again, is if we use a plastic one, if obviously you can see in the bottom of there when I've gone through too far, I'm not knacking the drill bit in by going too far and blunting the drill bit off neither. If it goes in the bottom, I'm hitting plastic, not porcelain or anything else, so it's not going to damage that drill bit any further. Right, I'm going to crack on. I'm losing light, so I'm going to get on with this and show you what our next step basically. So before I start, I get some different bits of seaglass. I kind of put them in a line and think, right, this is kind of the colours that I want to go for. This isn't exactly, you know, you start doing it and then you think, well, that's maybe not really how I want it to look. So you're going to change that, swap them out, and obviously some are going to break. It does happen. And we're going to be drilling from one side, so we're going to be starting from the top. We'll drill right through until it pops out the other end, and what it will do, it will leave a little shatter on either side. It won't be as neat. What you can do, you can drill saw through, so you're almost through the bit of seaglass, and when you turn the seaglass over, you take out the bit of blue tack, turn it over, and you'll be able to see where the hole is coming through. And you can, if you want, then drill from either side. But I have drilled this, so this was done from one side. From me and my daughter did this basically, and then these were all drilled just from one side, and they did fracture slightly on the back side of them, but it's never, I did wonder if it was ever going to affect the actual elastic, but it never has. It's not like frayed it or damaged it. Like I say, and I've had this for a year now, and it's been worn all the time, and it's like a bit of it's like a comforting thing as well, really. So it's been brilliant. So for me personally, and you're never going to notice as well, if I'm honest with you, when you're wearing it, you're not going to think, oh, well, that's been only drilled from one side. So for me personally, just crack on, drill them through and see what you think. But if you want to be a purist in it and think, right, I want a real perfect sort of little piece of seaglass each time, especially for a pendant, then I would drill either side all the way through, 3/4 or 90% through one side, then turn it over and drill on the back edge of it to, you know, to meet the hole on either side, and then you'll get a real nice drill. Right then, so this is it, the drill's running, probably got the speed I'm happy with here. I'm just going to go in directly from the top. I'm going to go down into the bit of seaglass, and then I'm just going to press away a little bit light, so you're going to get a bit of a splash first. And then back off a little bit, so just start doing a little bit and then back off. You're not trying to like just smash straight through it, just ease off a little bit, and then it lets the drill bit cool down. I'm doing this one-handed as well here, which isn't exactly, I'm just trying to show you how easy it can be, and I am wearing safety glasses as well. There you go. So there you go, you can see I'm right through now, a little bit of blue tack sticking on the back edge. And I mean, that was as quick as anything. You watch other people doing it and they make a meal out of it, where they're doing this for like about a minute and a half, going really tenderly. But that's one-handed. I'm holding the camera with one hand, and I'm doing it one-handed there. And it was just a little bit of light pressure. Blue tack, it's the way forward, honestly. Don't use plasticine. Blue tack, plasticine dissolves in the water. That's my tip anyway, personally. Right, I want to turn this off again, get this bit of sea glass, you can see what's happening on either side. Right, there you go, same piece. You can see there, it is a neat drill actually, and that, in fairness, you can see all the way through there if I move it like that. There's no real fracturing on either side of it. Sometimes that will happen, you'll see like a little bit of the back end of this bit of sea glass will come off, but as far as it goes, I mean, look at that, perfect straight through. And you saw how quick it was on the camera there. It was like, what, 15 seconds? It's no big deal, it is straightforward. Water, just to see it covering it, you put it back in, you'll be able to see how far the water is there. Whoops. That's all you need, the amount in there. We're not talking a massive amount of water, it's just to say to cover it and the drill bit. So the chuck's not spinning in the water, it's just the drill bit. That's all you need. Literally crack on, do that, do as many as you can, and then start putting them all together. Use a little bit of a glass bead if you want, put them in between it, add the spaces, and then hopefully your beautiful bracelet will come together. And what I'll do is I'll make one big video with all these together, and then you'll see the end result of a bracelet I've done. But I'm fighting daylight a little bit at the moment here as well, so there you go, good luck. You know what as well, I'm thinking, right, so I've made a little tip as well. Get the blue tack out, get it in your hands, squish it back together again, stick it back in your bowl again, so it's just, you know, you're not like keep trying to put it back in the same place all the time, and then get your next piece. And look, there you go, it's sat in there just to say covered, and we're ready to go again. So that's the second piece, that was a second along. I went from there, I've done one, there's my first one there. I'm going to work my way along here, crack on, get these done. Like I say, and once you've done one, take it out, move it to one side, get your blue tack out, give it a bit of a squish, stick it back in the bowl, and you can see it's all nice. It's not, you know, it's not moving anything at all. And then just keep doing that, keep reforming that blue tack, put it back in, get the next bit of glass in, and honestly, before you know it, you're cracking through them. It's not like an arduous. Sometimes it's such a big meal of a, you know, people seem to take forever to do these, but once you get a technique, and this is my tips, you'll get it done in no time. So there you go. This is my other tip here as well. Don't put your water too deep. And I've done 5 there. And you can see the water's gone really cloudy now. So maybe every 4 or 5, change your water. You can see what you're doing better. Right, so this is where I'm at now. I've drilled all the little holes in there. You can see that one when I was about chipping there, the frost has come off the back. So that's the back edge of it, nice and neat on that side. They're the ones I've got so far, including a little purple one at the end. I started here with a wire. I've tied a little knot on one end, and I'm just going to work my way along and put a little spacer and see how we go. Right, so this is where I'm at now. I've got these on here, and I've measured it, tried it on basically my wife's wrist, and that fits spot on. So just put it around your wrist, give it a little go, see where it's at before you do anything, and then you know where I took 3 off basically. So there we go. So what I'm going to do now is, got the knot at this end, you're going to stretch the elastic, so both hands either side of the elastic, give it a real good stretch to warm the elastic up, and in that way it's going to just get the tension out of the elastic before you do anything else, and then we'll get on to just doing a tiny little knot on it and then see what the finished result is. So the next bit is, we've got it threaded, we've got the cord through, I've done a little double knot, and then I've done a third final knot, and then once we're keeping these ends bit here, we're going to stretch it all again both ways, and the far end, and then back on the actual bracelet itself, so that it really tightens up and it can't come undone basically. There you go. So we're stretching and we're stretching there, and that is locked solid. So there we go, there's the end result there. We've got the bracelet with the little blue glass spacers on. Obviously we tried the different, there is the clear one as well. We just think that goes nice little, just basic, quick little project as well. All works well. If you have any more questions or comments, just give me a mention and I'll try to reply to you. And hopefully that's been a quick little or straightforward tips and tricks of how I do mine. There you go. Thank you. Bye.